Listen, if you will, to these stories three, and in a new light, Myrtle Beach, you'll see.
All Hallows Eve is just for fun and games. Well, allow me to explain. One night a year.
Hey, how you doing?
Rob, hey, what's going on, man? How'd you get in here, man?
Hey, forget about it. What you doing, making another video? Yeah, man, this time it's gonna be on ghosts. There's a lot of history here in Myrtle Beach, and it's Halloween, and I figured it'd be kind of cool if we did ghost stories. Ghost stories, okay. How you gonna start though? We start first with Miss Alice Flagg, whose love for her beau hit kind of a snag. Alice was head over heels for a lumberjack, a handsome young man from the wrong side of the tracks. See, Alice was aristocracy. Her family was loaded. When her brother, the doctor, met her love, he exploded. Marry him? Ha! He's below your pedigree. He'll never be part of our family. Young Alice was shattered. How could they do this? Deny her and her love their lifelong bliss? No, they're wrong. I refuse, she said. They can't tell me who I can and cannot wed. So behind their backs, Alice got engaged. Between the two, rings secretly exchanged. Alice thought herself wise, though her deeds were reckless. She kept his ring secret on a silver necklace. Her undercover plans were successfully hidden till she fell ill with fever, laid low and bedridden. It was then that her brother, while treating her sickness, came upon the ring and discovered her business. Hiding this from the family? Think that you're clever? Guess when you're going to be married? Never! Her brother took her ring, and she wailed and she sobbed. In the darkness, he went and cast it into the bog. For young Alice, it was too much to abide. Ill, frail, and heartbroken, she later died. She was laid to rest in Murrells Inlet. You'd think that the end of our tale, and yet what? Some people have seen in the black of the night a ghostly young woman dressed in white, searching, looking for something lost, something long ago into the marsh tossed. They say if at her resting place 13 times round backwards you pay, and leave her a token, something round like a ring, good luck to you young Alice will bring. For still she searches for her engagement band, and still she longs for her lumberjack's hand. Next, we're going to talk about Drunken Jack, an unlucky mariner who sailed under the black. He was part of a crew that was widely feared. Edward Teach was the captain, better known as Blackbeard. One day on the water, what to them did come? A Boston-bound freighter with a huge load of rum. They sacked the ship, they stole every bottle, and soon there unfolded an enormous debacle. 'Cause they sailed for the inlets north of Charlestown, found a nice place to hide, and chugged the rum down. The entire crew got absolutely wasted, including our Jack, whose doom was soon fated. Next morning at dawn, the quartermaster did hail, "Get on board, you scallywags! It's time to set sail!" The pirates crawled on board, hung over, eyes bloodshot. There was a problem, though. Guess who they forgot? Jack was marooned in the Carolina sun, debilitated, desperate for water, near the end of his run. Aboard the Revenge, they wondered about Jack, but with the Royal Navy around, there was no going back. 2 years later, they came back to that spot and stumbled upon the shipmate that they'd forgot. Jack was still there, resting under a tree, left there to die while they set out to sea. Must have died happy, the crew did surmise. He drank every damn drop that remained of our prize. His bones were bleached white, and in his hands he did clasp the devil's drink that killed him, the last empty flask. The legends lived on for centuries three, and the inlet has grown, as you can plain see. It's now the prime spot, the main destination for both pirates and landlubbers to enjoy their libation. So when in Murrells Inlet, our partying spot, remember Drunken Jack, our pirate ghost, and have a shot. Our third tale begins on a more somber note. Like our last tale, it begins on a boat. This is no tale of death and debauchery. Our third ghost holds protection as his priority. In Pawleys Island, a couple lived their life, a young mariner by trade and his beloved wife. The young groom was out to sea and had just made port. While making his way home, his journey was cut short. 'Cause riding home on his horse in the dark and the dank, into a muddy swamp he rode, and quickly sank. And instead of the embrace of his beloved bride, the quicksand seized him. He drowned and he died. Wife was destroyed, gaunt and grim, till one night, in a dream, she reunited with him. He proclaimed his love, but gave a dire warning. "Flee quickly, my dear, a killer storm is approaching." She awoke with a start. She alerted her family. They ran for their lives and avoided sure tragedy. 'Cause as they fled and heeded the words of his ghost, a lethal hurricane surprised the Carolina coast. Many homes were destroyed, many lives were taken, but not the home, not the life of our story's maiden. Were they saved by a ghostly romance? Or was it pure chance? Was it happenstance? Who's to say? But let me add this, something that you cannot easily dismiss. In the years since, the legend does say, when killer storms rise and head our way, 5 times since then, storms have made landfall in Pawleys. Each time a gray ghost came before the tossed seas. In times long past and times we've seen, before Hurricanes Hugo and Hazel he's been, a spectral gray man dressed out as a sailor, who for one family appears as their savior. And though they may never see anything stranger, warns them of the looming deadly danger. And each family that heeded the warnings he raised, their homes were spared, their lives were saved. So the next deadly storm that puts us on its route, if you see the gray man, heed his warning, get out.
Man, that was cool. But you gotta tell me the deal. Did you make that stuff up or is it all real?
With local folklore, you know what they say. Ghost stories are all fake.